All right, good evening, everybody. Chris and Tiffany here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's live video. Are you ready to go live?
Yes.
I see you have a furry friend.
Yes. Mika wanted to say hi to Desiree.
Oh, I see. Well, welcome, everybody. Glad to see we have folks already here. Already. There it is. See, Miko, you have a fan. He was already here in the room, sitting by, ready to go as soon as I started setting up for the live. He knew it was Wednesday.
Yep. So Frankie's here. We just got off the Mardi Gras Saturday and we are tired, but that's a good tired. And they've already booked another one in May. That sounds fun.
You almost need to do a back to back. When you're tired from your first one, you can rest on your second one. Or do you think you'd be more tired because you took a second one?
You'd be more tired. Sheikah's here. Hello, everyone. Desiree, good evening, guys. It's always a pleasure of listening about cruising. Misty is here, and she's listening while making chocolate-covered caramel nut clusters. That sounds really, really good.
It does sound really good right now.
Misty, do you make your own caramel?
You should run in the kitchen and make some.
I should, but we don't have any of that stuff. I'm out of butter, so I can't make caramel.
Oh, okay. Speaking of making stuff, I know last Sunday we had said Tiffany was going to be putting out a video from her Carnival Cruise cookbook. Well, I will say we actually shot that video, and it was terrible. Not Tiffany's cooking, not Tiffany's commentary. Some stuff I decided, hey, let's try this with some cameras and some effects and things like that. Turned out to be actually really, really, really bad. And so there was no time to remake that particular video and have it out by Sunday. But we have reshot that video. It is good and clean this time. So Tiffany's cooking video will actually be out this week. So we'll call it major technical difficulties affected that last week. So, but we've got that up, done, and corrected.
Chica's letting Misty know that sharing is caring.
Oh, that's true. I mean, if you are going to come into live, just like, when we were kids in school, you can talk about food, you got to have enough to share with everybody. It's your turn to talk.
So Desiree says, good evening, puppy. She also said, that's beautiful. Cruise on, guys.
Oh,
Connie's here. Ahoy, mateys. Yay to Tiffany's video.
I said it was done, it was completed, but it was bad. It was so bad. I made some bad choices. That's all there was to that. And so I had to take a bunch of that stuff out. We had to do a complete reshoot. So what we'll get a
video out on Sunday.
What she said. What she said. Now, the cruise news this week has been relatively quiet, though there was an interesting story of a man who got caught, man from Pennsylvania, as a matter of fact, got caught by the TSA smuggling a turtle down the front of his pants.
Why?
I'm not even going to begin to pretend like I know why a guy stuck a turtle in his pants. That's just... But he got caught by the TSA.
Bob's here, says, hello, fellow cruisers. Hope everyone is doing well. Alien is here. Just a quick hello, all. I hope your Wednesday is jolly.
It is. It's actually good. Of course, we all just went through time change this past weekend, or those that were affected by time change. So it's not dark while we're doing this video anymore.
No.
It's actually still daylight, but it's thrown my whole week off because normally I get off work in the evenings. It's dark already, and now it's still daylight, and I kind of feel like I'm skipping out of work early every day. Not, but it feels like it.
I go to work and it's still dark. But it stays dark longer.
That's true. That's because you're crazy. I go to work when it's daylight. I come home when it's daylight until the time change messes that up.
Yeah. Nellie's here. Hi, all. James is here. Hello, all High Seas cruisers. Hope all is well.
Good to talk to you again, James. James, we are 153 days away from our cruise.
Yes.
So we are below the 6-month mark. That's a good thing. Still in triple digits, though. But it is counting down. We are down to 153 days. I checked right before we went on just to see what we were getting down to.
Misty said she doesn't make homemade caramel. She would burn herself. She uses baking melts.
That works too.
That does work too. I've used those before.
Or I've seen where you can do that kind of recipe with the nuts and the caramel and the chocolate. And you basically just like put it all in the crock pot. And you just let it ooey gooey together.
Mm-hmm.
And you take it out and spoon it and let it chill. And you have a caramel nut chocolate cluster like thing.
I usually use the mini pretzels and Rolos and pecans. It's a lot of work on wrapping all of them Rolos, though.
I'm pretty sure you can buy them now when they're unrolled now.
You can, but
I'm just saying it would save you a lot of work.
Frankie says 52 days until our next cruise, and Chica says not bragging, but I am less than 60 days.
Okay, now you're starting to sound like Nelly.
Glisten's channel. Oh my Gooseworks. Hello, new friends. My name is Glisten's channel, or Glisten for short. How are you?
Well, we are good, and welcome to the live video. By the name channel, what kind of channel do you have? Is it a cruising channel, a travel channel? Is it any kind of channel? Share with us. We would all like to know.
Ellie says, May 11th, we go on our honeymoon. You know, I will post a pic of the group of our wedding, April 5th, if okay. Of course that's
You
okay.
know it's okay. We like the pics. We like the ones that you just sent of you and your sister.
Yes.
Absolutely. You guys look like you were having a blast. And of course, definitely post those over on Facebook and share with everybody. Anybody that wants to post their cruising pics and stuff like that over on Facebook, absolutely. Texas Cruiser, he posts his Galveston newsletter over there on our Facebook page. He tags the videos he does on there, and all of that is perfectly okay. Connie tagged on there today. I don't know if Connie's in here yet, but that was quite funny what Connie put on there. So yeah, no, that's what that Facebook page is, a community group page. You guys know the rules. Family friendly, polite and respectful to each other.
Alien says 45 days until our cruise.
45. Ooh.
Misty says, I'm bragging. I fly out in 32 days.
Oh, there we go. That number's getting better. It's getting lower and lower. You're right there. Right?
Glisten says, I'm working on an animated channel with one featuring a chicken who really likes bulldog noodles. They are really spicy. He even turns red. That sounds interesting.
That does sound interesting.
I'm gonna assume bulldog noodles. It's a ramen. Is that popular ramen that everybody's featuring now?
You're gonna ask someone, and I'm gonna tell you, I do not know the answer to that question.
Ken says 18 days until our first cruise out of Galveston.
Like your first cruise ever, or just Galveston being the first time? Oh, you got Carolyn has jumped on in.
Carolyn, good evening, Chris and Tiffany. Belly scratches.
That is his absolute, one of his go-to moves. He likes to just lay on his back and get his belly scratched. Even before he opened his eyes, he was getting belly scratches, and he's never outgrown it.
Nope.
He loves it. Oh, did I disturb you?
Let's see. Glisten says, what cruise is it? I'm new, so I don't know. Nellie says, Ken, what ship are you on? James, dang, I'm jealous of all you getting ready to cruise.
It's okay. We're still good, James. 153 days. It's going to go by fast. Then we're going to be on the ship sending up the pictures, the videos, and our delicious dinner at Wonderland.
Yes.
We're going to be inciting the Green Monster and others here in 153 days.
Let's see. Rubber Ducky is here. 4 days till
4 days.
Carnival of Enzia. Wow.
4 days.
That's
Wow.
awesome. Glisten says yes. Sheikah at Misty, where are you flying to? Ken says it's his first time out of Galveston, his 11th cruise.
Okay.
I love it.
Awesome. We are
Harmony.
Galveston cruisers. We love sailing out of Galveston, one, because it's the absolute closest port and we can drive to it in a couple hours. But I think Galveston is an excellent port to sail out of. I think it's easy, it's convenient. There is a lot to do in the port beforehand, good places to eat. And as far as getting on and off the ship, they do really well there. They got it down to a pretty good science. Parking is good. Shuttles are good. It's just a really good deal out of Galveston.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's going on Harmony of the Seas.
Yes.
That is, you'll have to give us your opinion on it. That's the one we're doing in 153 days. We are going to be on Harmony for our first time.
Yes.
So excited.
Nellie says, don't lie, Chris. 153 days is forever.
Nellie likes it. You just like coming on here and instigate and see. You're like, yeah, we're leaving real soon. 153 days. Yep, that sucks for you. That's what he said. That's what I. Hey, there's nobody here. What are you knocking for?
Misty says, I took a gander of the group cruise and sent some info to a friend and her husband.
Awesome.
And Misty said Fort Lauderdale.
Cool. I've heard nice things about Fort Lauderdale too.
Yeah.
heard
Nellie
some
says, Ken, Harmony is awesome. Glisten says, I went on a Carnival cruise last November. The fleet was Carnival Freedom, the one that's lost its funnel, and I'm going on my first Disney cruise in 2026. I don't know what fleet, probably Fantasy or Treasure.
Well, you have the ultimate Disney cruise fan sitting right here next to me. If you have Disney cruise questions, believe me, she knows.
Yes.
He knows.
Nellie says, Misty, ooh, Fort Lauderdale, which ship?
Remember, I got Celebrity. I think Misty said Celebrity. I'm forgetful, so please don't be offended if I can't remember all of the exact ships.
Bob says, for those going on the Harmony, you need to try the Abyss. It's a rush. I'm assuming that's the water slide?
No, that's the true dry slides.
Oh.
The one I told you where you sit in the potato sack or on the potato sack. Tiffany's going to try it. She just doesn't know it yet. She's going to try it because she's going to walk by and I'm going to push and she's going to go down the slide.
James says, woohoo, sounds good to me.
But yeah, there's two of them side by side. You can race.
I'd win.
I don't know. I weigh a little bit more than you.
I weigh less, so I'm going to go down faster.
Or you'll just kind of float down. You know, all because you start way up top and you end up down there by the burger place. Oh my God, my brain just went completely numb. Johnny Rockets. You end up down there by Johnny Rockets, so I'll be having a milkshake and you'll still be halfway down the slide.
Nah.
Or I'll let you go first and then I will go right after you. You'll get to the bottom quickly. I will chase you down the slide.
You'll push me. Glisten says, my favorite Disney cruise is probably Fantasy, but the Treasure Fleet, I like we don't talk about Bruno Horn. I haven't heard that one.
That's one of the new ones.
I know.
But Disney Fantasy was Tiffany's very first cruise ever.
Yes.
Was on board the Disney Fantasy. That's the ship that tugs your heartstrings the most.
Yes. I love that ship. Yes. Ken says, looking forward to the Abyss again. We're going to have to try it the first time. Before we do Wonderland, though. I don't want to do it after Wonderland.
You don't want it to all, wonder where all that food came from on the slide.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
James says, Nelly got to start something. Rick not here for him to pick on.
Right? Excuse me. I've just been going crazy this last week. Had a bunch of high wind and it's just kicked everything up.
Nellie said, Tiffany Haley is very small and she flew down the slide. So have fun. I'm going to beat you to the bottom.
It sounds like you might. That's experience right there.
Yeah.
It's a big slide. Remember I showed you the picture of the big
Yeah,
purple tubes coming down? That's the abyss. But it's dry, so you don't have to get wet.
No.
Tiffany is not a fan of water slides. You get wet on those.
I'm not a big fan of heights either.
This is in a tube. It's like going down a big straw.
And I'm claustrophobic.
You're going really fast. Think of it as you're getting flushed from the top deck.
Yes.
Down to food.
Yes. Listen says, do we have any Disney cruise models behind you?
Where are they?
Yes, we do. We have that one there.
That's the only Disney one I have.
Yeah, the last
It says on the bottom which one that one is.
the last couple ones, this is the Wonder. The last one we were on, one or two. It
They
was
didn't
right
have any of
after
the magic.
it was right after COVID, and they didn't have any more. With the last couple times we've gone on a cruise,
They haven't had any.
it's been hard to get the cruise models because they're saying that they're just not getting them fast enough. So.
Well, all of the shops on board all of the cruise ships are not owned by the cruise lines. The cruise lines don't control the product and how often it comes in. And so that seems to be a current trend where a lot of them are out of the ship models. They're not getting them in. Either they're not making enough, shipping enough, or keeping them enough. And yeah, we've had experience where several of them we have not been able to get ship models from, which kind of sucks.
Yes.
So otherwise we'd have several more.
Yeah.
But we're missing 5, 6, 7 ship models because they just weren't available on the ship. So
James says, I will be at the bottom taking pictures of Tiffany and Chris as they come down the slide.
So James is the one when we walk by the top.
James has to race the winner.
Yeah, okay, there we go. If you get to race the winner, I like that.
I'm going to stop halfway through.
I don't know what the code is for a crazy lady stuck in a slide, but we're going to hear it over the intercom. Maybe there isn't a code for that. Maybe they just blurt out, hey, crazy lady stuck on the slide. She won't get out.
Nellie says, I forgot to get a Harmony model. Ugh.
Well, if you still need one when we're on the ship, let us know. If they have them, we'll grab it for you.
Yeah. Listen says, I think you
But
guys.
you're supposed to be on there with us, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that's even better. Just make sure you're on the cruise with us.
Yeah. Linson says, I think you guys should host a cruise ship model store. My friend's got some talent, nice, well designed.
Yeah, look, it shouldn't even be us. If you know someone who can make the ship models that look like the ships that are as good as the ones that are here, you need to open up your own website and start advertising ship models, because I am not the only person out there that's missing ship models. No. I am, and I see comments all the time from
just
people.
Said he's forgot his. So there you go. There's 2.
But yeah, there are people out there all the time that are always wondering, like, hey, how can I get one? They didn't have any on the ship. If somebody actually had a store that sold ship models, they would be rich from cruisers who couldn't get them on board. I'm telling you, I don't have the talent to make anything. I can make toast.
You can make mess.
I can make mess, but I cannot make. What is that noise?
It's Cancel trying to get in.
Oh. Where you at there, baby?
We're caught up.
Oh, we're all caught up?
Yeah, we're all caught up.
I forgot to get a Harmony model. Yeah, Tiffany. I like that. That's your code when you're on the ship.
Yep. Misty says, let me know the code for that so I can let my husband know what to listen for. Alien says, haha, every time Chris says ship model, it sounds like something else.
Depends on the ship.
Chris is here. Chris Moss, good evening. Connie's here. Disney Cruise is embedded Hilton Marina in Fort Lauderdale. I stayed there last time for a celebrity cruise. I thought was really nice.
All right,
James
can you
has
check my
said,
dog?
okay, I will race, but I will be the stubby old man that gets stuck.
It'd be good. I said, I've seen the video. They basically, it looks like they put you in a potato sack and shove you in the tube. So
come out on my head.
That's when the code comes. Tiffany. Woman banged her head coming out of the slide. She went in feet first somehow. She came out head first. Going down the tube yelling, Mickey, save me. We make joke. She is way more adventurous than she lets on, as long as she doesn't get wet.
Yeah, I don't like to get wet.
Unless it's snorkeling. Then you'll run off and snorkel all day long. You don't mind that. But she does not like ship pools and ship water slides.
Bob says there is no getting stuck on that slide.
Yeah, probably isn't. It's probably downhill and ice. What I've seen from people, it's just, and they're pretty steep slides.
Well, Nellie said, Haley said it's scary, but she would do it again.
Well, you shouldn't have told Tiffany it was scary. Should have told her it was like, wouldn't have frightened a 3-year-old. Then she would have been more eager to get on. Now she's going to stand at the top and be like, no. And then she's going to run for the elevator.
Well, it's going to be like that time I zip lined down and I thought they were going to push us. And he's like, no, you got to step off. I said, well, you better count 3 or 4 more times.
You can zip line across the open space on Harmony of the Seas. You going to do that?
I might. I actually enjoyed the zip line. I mean, it wasn't that tall, but it went down like that, and I could touch the ground after a couple seconds. But
on the ones on the ship, you step off the deck, you're way above the deck, and then somewhere at the other side, you'll touch more deck.
Yeah.
But there's no ground in between the two. Yeah. It's just straight down.
Like I said, I did a little one. I showed you the video when I was in Arkansas last summer.
You go into Cocoa Key. There's a big giant one you could do there.
Yeah.
I think it shoots you right out of the ocean. I'm not sure.
I want to do one laying down.
The ones, I can't remember if the ones in Cocoa Key are laying down or not, to be honest with you.
Chris said, I just found out today my Celebrity 2026 cruise canceled Labadee and will now stop at Turks and Caicos.
There's been some adjustments in cruise itineraries, and that's honestly, if you book specifically for Labadee, that sucks. But they're still shifting around some of the 2026 itineraries. I know that.
Nellie said, I will say it's disappointing that no third ship is coming to Galveston for the jewel type sailings for Royal. I am the RC Rick tonight. Laugh out loud.
I'm not even gonna come back on that one.
Spit it out.
I don't believe that Royal Caribbean is gonna reduce our ships for very long. I think something's gonna come. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna fluctuate. It will. It may be a little while that we only have 2, but they're doing two. It's going too well in Galveston. There'll be a replacement at some point.
James said, trust me, cruisers, I will fill up Facebook of stuff we will be doing on the cruise. So will Chris.
Well, yeah, it's kind of what I do.
Yeah. Misty said, did you do any of the slides on Liberty? No. I did not. I don't like water slides.
I did that one, remember?
He did a water slide. I don't like water slides.
I'll do them occasionally, just to try them and do it. I did the one, I forget the name of it, cyclone, tornado, hurricane. It's some kind of storm name. Not the one with the tubes where you go whipping around. But I'll do them, like I said. Tiffany won't do them, though, not water slides. I know I've done them on Carnival several times. Things like that.
Bob says, if not you, Nellie, it would be me. Talking about Royal. And then Nellie said, Chris Moss, that may be better. Glisten says, there's this weird looking Disney cruise called Disney Adventure. Look it up. For some reason, it just looks weird to me. I've seen something about Disney Adventure. It's not a lot of characters and stuff, but you go to the places. It's more about the places and the learning experience than it is about the characters.
Disney Adventure is the Asian only pre-built cruise ship they bought. That's why. Yeah, that Disney Adventure was pre-built for Asia, or it was bought for Asian market. It was going to be like the Global Dream or something like that. The cruise ship was 3/4 of the way built when Disney purchased it. They repurposed it for the Asian only market. So it's doing short cruises in conjunction with Disney World out of Japan, Disney Tokyo.
Ray is here and wants to know where we were when we had the bubbles on our head walking on the bottom. That was in Cozumel.
That was the Sea Trek. They called it the Sea Trek diving excursion. Mm-hmm. That one was a lot of fun.
That one was, but a word of caution. If you have sinuses or allergy problems, it does mess with your ears for a couple of days afterwards. Mine was about a week.
Yeah, but that was a super fun excursion. Because once those helmets are really, really heavy, but once you're in the water, they're not.
You don't feel them.
And then you just walk and breathe, and you kind of hold onto a rope as you walk the bottom. Because I think if you fall over with that helmet on, you're not getting back up. Yeah. But the water just stays right at your neck. It's really cool. And it was a lot of fun.
Yep. Chris says, I love Liberty. However, this will be my first time at Turks and Caicos. I missed that one. Alien said, it's time for you know what. So I got to get going. Have a nice night. Have a great evening and a rest of your week. Chris said, Nellie, are you filling in for Texas Cruiser?
Yeah.
Who, by the way, has joined us. And Donna, we're having great fajitas and Ritas at Papacitas. Oh, say that faster.
Rick, they were talking smack about you. I wouldn't take it from them.
Bob said the 2-man slide on the dual inner tube was pretty wild. Even got my wife on that one.
I tried to get Tiffany on that one. She just refused.
No,
utterly refused.
I don't like water slides. Sorry, guys.
And she would not budge on that at all. No. Just like I can't get her on the flow rider. I think she would have a blast on the flow rider, but she won't do it.
Nope. Nellie says, haha, Bob, we may go to NOLA for the days. Mariner is going there when Liberty comes in. We'll do 7th to Jamaica and Grand Cayman. 7 nights to Jamaica and Grand Cayman. Sorry. The words are like dancing around. I really got to go get my eyes checked. Glisten says, well, in a couple of days, getting to set sails, fellow captains.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Get ready. There you go. Attila says Papacitas super yummy.
Yeah, and I completely get it. You're having delicious fajitas with your wife. I'd have been late to the show too.
Yeah. James says, hello, Texas. Nellie was taking your spot tonight, talking about RCL and Galveston.
Yes. Texas Cruiser is definitely our Royal Caribbean spokesman for the port of Galveston.
Yep. Nellie
absolutely.
Says, well, Rick found out I was talking royal, laugh out loud. he came and said, this is my territory. James said his ears must have been burning.
Wow. Messing with the poor man.
Margaret's here. Welcome, Margaret. Hi, everyone, from wet and stormy Sacramento. It's pouring and very windy. If you don't mind, Margaret, send some of the rain this way. Not so much the wind, but the rain we'll take.
We've had tons of wind.
Yes. Nellie, I kid. One day I look forward to meeting Rick. Texas Cruiser says, I have been training Rick. It's a hard job, but someone's got to do it.
That says Nellie.
Or Nellie, sorry. I told you the words are dancing around.
You told Rick he was training himself.
Yeah. Texas Cruiser, hey, James and Attila. Glisten says, the Icon of the Seas was probably worth billions of dollars.
Oh, yeah, those new ships, those are big old checks that they write when those ships come out.
What about the glass deck around 300, walking the glass deck around 300 feet up? Yeah, I tried not to do that too. And if you ever pay attention in the videos where I am walking on the deck, I stay directly in the middle, right on that metal beam. I don't step off that beam.
The best example of that is when we were on the Discovery Princess. They have the skywalk, and Tiffany in that skywalk. But there's a couple of the royal ones that have it out on the side that you just kind of.
I walk directly on that beam.
And the face she makes as soon as she realizes where I took her, the face she gives me, like, ooh, I'm gonna kill you. It's almost as good as when we were in Costa Maya doing the aviary tour, and they have the rope bridges, and I'll get out in the middle and I'll start shaking the bridge. I get the evilest looks when I do that.
He doesn't realize he has to go to sleep sometime. So, yeah.
It's safe on the ship. They have security.
Let's see. Hi, Sheikah. Hi, Rick. At Margaret. We are supposed to get it later on. Not sure.
Everybody's just saying hi.
Yeah. Nellie wants to know if I'll do the glass walkway on MSC.
I haven't shown her that one yet.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, you spilling the beans. I could have walked her up to it and then started to go across. It at least would have made great footage as she was yelling, cursing me, and, you know, giving me the oh shit finger. Yeah, she's unaware of that big one that's on MSC.
I'm aware of it now. Gotta make sure I have the right shoes on to balance properly on that metal beam.
I haven't seen this one. So you got to picture like the tallest points of the ship, and then you have the back of the ship comes here, and the back of the ship comes here, and it's like empty in the middle. The glass walk goes around the end, and there's nothing on either side and nothing below it except for the ship many, many decks down. It's probably one of the highest glass ones at sea, I think.
Yeah. James says, yes, Margaret, Ohio will be getting the same Saturday. Y'all send that rain this way. I'm telling you, we need it. Attila says, sailing out of Galveston, Tiffany, you can sail a cruise on her and walk the glass bridge. I could. Misty said, so being afraid of heights, how bad is it to look over the rails? If you look straight ahead, you don't realize how far down it is. So I don't look down too often.
And you don't do too bad as long as you can't see through your feet.
Yeah. If there's something, yeah, what he said.
She doesn't like the rope bridges because they move. If they didn't move, she's fine. As long as the floor is in glass, she's usually okay. But she'll be up on deck 19, you know, on some of these cruise ships with deck 19, just goofing around. That doesn't seem to bother you at all.
No.
But when the floor turns glass or the bridge moves, I'm not a happy camper.
And I've done the obstacle things.
But yeah, she's done the obstacle course on Carnival Breeze.
And it wasn't the obstacle that was the scary part. It was seeing how high up I was. I've done the bikes on Carnival.
Vista.
And that was okay until we went out over the water and I could look down. Yeah, that bothered me. I almost stopped right there.
It would have been a Tiffany moment.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm good as long as I don't. Yeah. Nellie says, my bad. Haha. I won't tell her the name of it. Blitzen says, would you rather live on a cruise ship or a theme park? A cruise ship.
A cruise ship.
Because it goes to different ports. A theme park, Epcot might be okay because you're in different areas, different countries. But yeah, I'd have to say a cruise ship because you go different places.
Yeah, you wake up someplace different and you can get off and be someplace different. I think a cruise ship would win every time.
Nellie says, I pick cruise ship. Haley picks Disney World, Epcot.
Sounds like Tiffany. I mean, Epcot wouldn't be terrible because there's still really good food in there. See, when I think theme park, I think, like Six Flags. Not that there's anything wrong with the Six Flags, but the food in those places in your, just your average theme park is not nearly as good as you can get on a cruise ship. Now, Epcot at Disney, they had all kinds of good food in there. So food matters.
Yes.
To me.
Texas Cruiser says or asks, when you head to Galveston, do you stop at the Buc-ee's in Luling? No, because we don't go that way.
Yep, we do not go that way. The actual first Buc-ee's we pass is actually over there off of 45.
It is. Yeah, and it's on the opposite side of the street, so we don't stop.
Right. We normally don't stop. Yeah, when we go to Galveston, we take zero highway whatsoever until we hit Hitchcock right there. And it's 6, Highway 6, where Highway 6 meets the freeway. We jump on the freeway there, cross the bridge, we're in Galveston. That is absolutely the only freeway we do.
Where are we at? Chris said, I love the bridge of size on MSC Seashore. Awesome views. I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna have to look that up. Desiree says, cruise ship. It would be nice to live on.
No, you don't need to look that one up. We'll show you when we get there. You'll see it.
Ray says, you got to try the rope wall on the Epic.
She'll climb things.
I did do the...
You did rock climbing.
I did rock climbing on one of the Royals. I got about almost halfway up.
She was way higher than that.
And my legs just said, nope, I'm done. And I looked down at the guy and he's like, nope, come on, you're done. And I came down and yeah, my legs gave out. I fell backwards.
It's on video.
Yeah. James said, Glisten's channel, that would be on a ship. Love being on the water.
Yeah. The water, the breeze, the smell, the fact it rocks you to bed at night.
Misty says, I'd pick a cruise ship. Don't like amusement or water parks. I don't like water parks. Not a big fan of amusement parks. Now you put Mickey in it and I'll be there.
Yeah, she would happily live in Epcot or someplace like that.
Yeah. Margaret says, I love Buc-ee's cherry butter and my daughter loves their taffy. We always make a stop when in Texas. They're growing outside of Texas.
They are.
They're building one in San Antonio now. I didn't realize San Antonio didn't have one.
I didn't either.
But they're building one in San Antonio now.
However, I will have to say that if you are going to Galveston to cruise and you are a taffy fan, La King's Confectionery, which is just like 2 blocks from the cruise port, is where you get the taffy because they will make it right in front of you. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're talking fresh. They give samples out when they're making it. They do shows. The taffy is still warm from being pulled. That is where...
That's a must stop for us.
That anyway. Is a Tiffany must stop. That's where taffy comes from. Yep. For us.
Connie said, I heard that Epcot got rid of Moroccan restaurant. That was my favorite one. We didn't go to the Moroccan one. No,
that's where we're eating baklava.
I thought that was just a little snack shop.
Right, but that was in the Moroccan.
Yeah, we tried the Moroccan coffee there too.
Yes, and you had the coffee.
Not a big fan of the Moroccan coffee. I drank it, but yeah, that was hard to drink. Texas Cruiser says, we live near 5 Buc-ee's. We have one in New Braunfels, one in Luling, and then a couple Saturdays ago, I stopped at the one in Bastrop. So, Chris said, I would for sure live on a cruise ship.
Yeah, me too.
Sheikah says, I have never been on MSC. I really need to try it. We're trying it in November.
Yeah, we really want to try it too. I think it's going to be a really awesome cruise. And I've said it before, I'm really hoping for that more European feel from the cruise.
Yeah.
I want that.
Nellie says, I live 5 minutes from Temple Buc-ee's. I go every so often. I've gotten to where I just try to stay out of them. The crowd in there is just ridiculous sometimes. And getting in and out of there is,
Well, especially the ones around here, because like the one in Luling, they're building the new
No,
one.
that one's already built.
They've already finished it.
Yeah, because the original one caught fire right after the second one was built. Yeah, it caught fire and burned down. Texas Cruiser says, I totally agree, Chris. Carolyn says, we just got one in Colorado. I need to go. Be prepared. If it's your first time in Buc-ee's, you're going to spend about an hour in a convenience store because that's how long it takes to get through all the shopping.
Yeah, convenience store is a loose term when it comes to Buc-ee's. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a convenience store, it's a gas station, but boy, you got to use that term loosely.
Yes.
I mean, 'cause that's the only place I know where you can get a drink, some beaver nuggets, some beef jerky, a brisket sandwich, and shop for kitchenware. All the same.
And jewelry and clothing, and yeah. If you ever need cast iron, it's a great place to get cast iron.
They make really good brownies.
Yeah,
Buc-ee's is a whole place by itself.
Bob says, I live near 3 Buc-ee's, just won't stop in Madisonville anymore. Texas Cruiser says, La King has great shakes too. Now, we've never had the shakes there. We've had the ice cream there.
No, you had coffee there.
I've had coffee there. Sorry, didn't mean to hit you.
I usually too busy stuffing taffy in my face.
Yeah.
They make what's that one I like? That tropical taffy down there. If they've made that flavor, oh, that's good. The banana one is really good too.
Margaret says, I keep hoping they would open one in California, but I seriously doubt that would ever happen.
You never know.
You never know.
We didn't think for the longest time we'd ever get In-N-Out Burger here.
Yeah.
And now we've got In-N-Out Burger. Everything seems to be just
spreading.
So I wouldn't say it was impossible.
Texas Cruiser said that Moroccan restaurant in Epcot was awesome. Sad to hear that. James said, Texas love a good shake. Carolyn, okay, Tiffany, so no flip-flop shopping. No. Although they do have some in there.
You can shop for flip-flops.
You can shop for flip-flops, but they have a lot of nice stuff in there. Jewelry, hats, kitchenware,
barbecue essentials, fire pit. It's insane.
Yeah.
What's in, especially those really large ones.
Sheikah says, I would live on a cruise ship too.
I think cruise ship seems to be the general consensus.
Glisten says, sometimes I used to get Tallahassee mixed with Tennessee. I could see that. Nellie says, but I went to Buc-ee's in another state. The Buc-ee's in another state doesn't have the magic that Buc-ee's in Texas has. I haven't been to a Buc-ee's in another state.
We didn't stop last time when we were going to, we passed a couple of them when we were going to North Carolina.
We passed them, but we were excited to be going, so we didn't stop.
We didn't stop at the Buc-ee's.
No.
Okay, we'll have to check that out because, Dairy Queen is different in every other state other than Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Dairy Queen is not the same as anybody else's Dairy Queen. The menus are different in everything. I wonder if Buc-ee's is something similar to that when it gets out of Texas. Is it just a vibe that's not the same, or is the store not the same?
I don't know. But until it's right, the bathrooms are the best in Buc-ee's because they're in there cleaning it constantly. I swear they've got 2 or 3 people working just in the bathrooms.
Well, the one up the street from us has got 200 places to go to the bathroom at the same time in it.
Mm-hmm. While you're filling your car up.
That's true. I've never waited for a bathroom in a Buc-ee's ever. There's so many in there that there is never a line to go, even though there's constantly people going.
Ken says the Colorado Buc-ee's is always crazy busy. They're crazy busy everywhere.
Yeah, Buc-ee's has become a thing.
The one in Luling, the line to get off of that, to get off the highway starts like a mile back.
Well, people start talking about Buc-ee's on social media. It became videos and posts, and Buc-ee's just gotten more and more and more popular. Social media is powerful, and you can see how it's really pushed pretty hard on Buc-ee's.
Chris says we have to travel to Kentucky for our nearest Buc-ee's.
Woo!
Yeah, Carolyn's laughing. Ray says Buc-ee's is the supermart of 7-Eleven.
Very, very true. Very true. in ours, you can fit about 6 7-Elevens inside the
Yeah.
Buc-ee's alone.
Glisten wants to know if we've been to the one in Georgia next to the Locust Grove. No, we haven't. Texas Cruiser said Dairy Queens in small towns are awesome.
Oh yeah, grew up here, grew up eating Dairy Queens and stuff like that. I just thought it was an interesting fact that I didn't learn until years later that they're not the same.
Yeah. Carolyn wants to know, do men actually wait in line in the bathroom? Thought it was just women.
On occasion.
Because the women are tired of waiting in line, so they jump in line.
There's been occasions, yes.
Yeah. Nellie said, Glistens, I went to the Buc-ee's in Warner Robins, no Texas themed stuff. Boo.
See? So Texas has stuff in it that they don't have.
And
and that's shocking for Texans.
it is, because when we were in Montana, we went to visit my sister in Montana, and everybody decorates with the Texas flag or the star or some kind of Texas something when you live in Texas. In Montana, they had nothing like that, and I was shocked. And even Alaska, there wasn't a whole lot of.
Texas has a tendency to be, one amongst itself.
Yeah. Chris says, I have been to Buc-ee's in Florida, Georgia, and Kentucky. I just get mesmerized by the wall of jerky every time. Yep.
That is a favorite wall, I have to admit. The wall of jerky is spectacular.
Ray says, if you get a Wawa instead of 7-Eleven, do it. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, a Wawa, that's a new one.
Yeah. Attila says, yeah, the one in Luling is really hard to get into and out of. I skipped that one. The one in Katy, Texas is gigantic, but traffic is sort of okay. Yeah, but the one when we stopped at the one in Katy.
Okay.
But there was a lot of construction at the time, so it was a pain in the rear end because of the construction. Now, if the construction's done, it probably is pretty super easy to get in and out of.
We'll see. No, we won't be passing that way until 2026.
Yeah. Let's see. Attila says world's largest drive-through car wash in Katy, Buc-ee's too.
I've seen videos of these cars going through the Buc-ee's car wash, and I was wondering where that was. I would purposely drive to that Buc-ee's on my way just to go through that car wash. It looks cool and fun. And it's real long and you get to ride through it. I know that's weird, but yeah, I actually have the urge to go through that particular car wash.
Carolyn.
And I didn't know where it was. Now we know.
Carolyn said, I lived in Warner Robins, Nellie, when I was a military brat. Glistened at Ray, exactly. Buc-ee's is literally a whole store where they have everything you can name. Carolyn says, I ate at Texas Churches today. Chicks was fabulous. James, yes, Texas. I will be checking out Galveston in August as I am coming in 2 days early just to explore Galveston. Because he's thinking about moving, I think.
Yeah. Rick, hook him up with a realtor when he's done.
Chris says, Wawa is great, mostly East Coast. Great sandwiches.
Okay. We will, next time we're over that way, we'll have to look for that. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
But now I am interested.
Jean is here, says Wawa started in New Jersey, I think. Misty says, I've never seen one.
I haven't either, but the couple times we've gone east, like to North Carolina, we see things that I've never heard of before. We had to ask what a Bojangles was.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I didn't know what a Bojangles was.
Yeah, we had to ask my daughter. I said, hey, what's a Bojangles? Never heard of it before. And of course, now it's really, really popular. It's a big thing, the chicken breakfast biscuits and stuff. But we had never, ever heard of it down here until we went over there. So I'm not surprised we don't have a clue what a Wawa is.
Yeah. Attila said construction done, but it just moved west down I-10 towards you. So it's not bad there. Okay.
Yeah, which is why we try to stay off of I-10 at all costs.
Yes. Chica said, jerky, we are too far for our Buc-ee's. Margaret says, I've been to Wawa in Philadelphia. It's a gas station with deli counter, etc. Bigger than a 7-Eleven, but much, much, much smaller than a Buc-ee's.
Yeah, but he had me a good sandwich, so.
Yes. Glisten says, laugh out loud, Chuck, more like Buc-ee's. Margaret says, Wawa fans are serious. Don't diss Wawa or you will pay.
We don't diss the Wawa. We don't even know what a Wawa is.
Yeah. And I hope I'm saying that right, too. Glisten says,
Yeah, we could be over there like fools.
Glisten said there is a Wawa in Orlando, Florida. Carolyn said, Bojangles is a pizza place here.
Yeah, see, out the East Coast, it's like a fast food chicken biscuits.
Yeah.
We never ate there.
Well, or Nelly says Wawa fans are like HEB fans.
Got it. Understand.
Yep. Texas Cruiser says the Port of Galveston Wharf Board chairman has repeated my reposted my YouTube video where I talked about the port hiring a firm to update the master plan. I talked about a possible 5th and 6th terminal.
I did see where you posted that. That was really cool that he did that. And now please ask him for a Wawa.
Texas Cruiser said that's a huge Buc-ee's in Katy with the largest car wash.
Here we go with it.
Chris says I'm pronouncing Wawa just right.
Okay, good. I thought we were about to get hate mail. If people take it serious, how many people get mad when I kept calling the Buc-ee's Busey's?
Yes, it's not Busey's, guys. It's Buc-ee's, and don't call it Busey's because they get mad.
Which is why we got to make sure we're pronouncing Wawa correct. Cause yeah, I get it.
Yeah, they get mad.
It's like pronouncing HEB wrong.
Yeah, Heb.
Ooh.
James says yes. After this rough winter we had, I'm thinking about moving to Galveston a lot.
I mean, snow, hurricane. It's a toss-up.
Yeah. Sheikah says I-10 can be crazy. Oh yeah, especially with all this construction that they're doing, and they keep sending me to San Antonio through all of that. And
you know that's the only freeway I've been on from end to end.
From end to end.
Because I've been out to California on I-10, and we've been all the way out to Florida on I-10. We've actually been almost end to end on that one particular freeway.
The furthest I've gone on 10 is it New Mexico?
Okay.
So.
Well, when we go out and sail from Long Beach, we'll be on 10.
Misty says, I have never seen either gas station little behind. Caramel is fighting me. That's not good. Just eat it. Then it won't fight you.
That's the best way to tame it. Just chew
it. Ken says, any recommendations on getting from George Bush to Galveston? Uber?
James, you're up. Yes, we absolutely have a recommendation. It's going to come from James.
Texas Cruiser also says Uber would be faster.
James has got the most recent experience with this that he is very pleased and very happy with. So I will throw that out there for James to give what transportation he used.
Glisten says, I feel like Disney Magic and Wonder, since they use the same cruise ships, I feel like they are updated model from the Titanic.
The Wonder and the Magic are beautiful, awesome, spectacular cruise ships. Considering their age, you would never guess how old those two ships are. And they do kind of have that look with the color scheme, the black, the way they're shaped.
The funnels.
And the funnels and things like that, but they were designed that way. Yeah. To give you that nostalgic feeling of the Crucible.
James says, Uber would be faster, but if you're not in a hurry, Galveston Express Shuttle is a good service.
There it is. I know James was just telling me about it last night. He was reminding me about it last night. And so, and I know he's used it recently.
And Texas Cruiser is giving a very great tip. If you fly into a cruise out of Galveston, I highly recommend flying in the day before.
Oh, yeah. You don't. One traffic whoopsies through Houston and down the I-45 can ruin your whole day.
Chica says, I've been on I-10 all the way to Texas, but just El Paso. Believe me, from the time it took you to California to El Paso, it's going to take you longer to get from El Paso through Texarkana.
Yeah, that's the short part of I-10.
Yeah. It's about a
If you were to go from side to side, it's something crazy like 18 hours on 10 from the Louisiana border to the New Mexico border. If you're following the speed limits, of course.
yes.
Yeah, it's something outrageous.
But once you get past, what is it, San Antonio, a little further past San Antonio, it's like 85 miles an hour.
No, that's only on the toll roads. Well,
No, it's that way too.
it's not posted. That's only what
75.
That's only what Texans see.
75.
85. Yep, I'm sure that was the name.
85 is on the toll road. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 75.
Ray says you both have to expand your truck stop horizon. You know, though, Ray, we have found that the little mom and pop gas stations we like a little bit better.
Well, that, and like I said, we just have never seen that one. That hasn't been one that we've seen. And half the time we'll see something that we think is something and we get to it and it's not. Like that 50s diner place we went to eat at. And when we stopped, we ate, and then we called my daughter. And we're like, oh man, we found this little cool hole in the wall burgers shake. She's like, Dad, that's a chain. You guys are dumb.
Nellie said, Ken, don't do the RC shuttle. We had a friend we met on Harmony. She flew in at 8 and didn't get to ship till 1. They wait for everyone. Okay. Chica said, and when are you and Tiffany coming to California?
We'll have to figure that out. Now, you got us way interested in Long Beach. And I want to do the Queen Mary, and there's some itineraries that the western side of Mexico that we've never had an opportunity to go to.
Yeah.
And there's some cool cruise ships over there that stay over there that I'd be really interested in getting to try out. So we don't have an exact date yet, but it is definitely on the list.
Margaret says, I always recommend flying in the day before, no matter where you are sailing from. With airline delays, it's way too risky to fly in same day. Jean says 900 miles on 10. I think he needs to go out.
Do you need to go take him real quick?
Yeah, Chris, I thought driving I-40 through Tennessee was bad. No, you haven't driven 10.
Texas, just because it's so dang big from border to border.
Texas Cruiser says, good to know, Sheikah. Ken says, thanks, James. We are flying in 2 days earlier. We want to sightsee around Galveston. And Sheikah says, laugh out loud. I know, Tiffany. Dean says, yes, it's posted 85 in West Texas. I told you.
Well, that's West Texas. We haven't been west in a while.
I try to stay out of the way in my slow truck. Glisten says it all started with 2 cruisers who really loves to explore around the globe. Yes.
Yeah.
Texas Cruiser. I hate to say this, but not really. I have a 25-minute drive to the cruise terminals. That's rough.
Yeah, we feel for you. We really do. But ours isn't bad. Ours is 3.5 hours, and that's just taking back roads. And it's casual and it's calm. So I'm good with 3.5 hours.
Yes. James says, yes, Sheikah, I used them both ways on my last cruise and was very satisfied. Carolyn says, Long Beach Airport is the best to fly in. Bob said, it's only 4-hour drive for me, and I will come in the day before. Houston can cause nightmares. Yes, it can.
Yes, Houston is an absolute nightmare.
Sheikah said, I saw that face, Chris. Chris said, my Discovery Princess is out of San Pedro, Los Angeles in 10 days.
Awesome. And you're going to love that ship.
Yes, that's a pretty ship.
That is an absolute pretty ship.
Ray says, Mom and Pops, you get pickle pig parts. No, thank you.
Ooh, okay.
We won't. The jar and half warm beer in the cooler out front. But you also get fried pies and...
We crossed the Louisiana border one time. I said, Tiffany, you want a fried pie? Tiffany's now like, hey, they have fried pies. That place over there has fried pies.
Yeah.
We should stop over here.
Yep. Nellie says, yeah, Bob, from downtown all the way to Galveston is horrid. Now you know why we take back
Yes, refuse to go. Do my absolute best to avoid driving to Houston while it's daylight out.
Yes.
If we have to go, like if we're going to Florida, I will try to hit Houston about like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to get as least busy as possible.
Sheikah says December 6th, 8-day Mexican Riviera cruise. Be there or be square. I'm gonna have to be square. I can't cruise in December.
Yeah, Tiffany has a hard time cruising in December.
Margaret said, my nearest cruise port is 2 hours, San Francisco, and about 6 hours to San Pedro.
That's not terrible. I'd like to do San Francisco too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some really cool history in San Francisco. There's definitely some attractions. I want to see Alcatraz. I want to see the big road winds the hills, the Golden Gate Bridge, all that kind of good stuff.
Misty wants to know what made you pick the trip for October 2026. Kind of what everybody voted on.
Yeah, so long time ago when we first started talking about it, we kind of did a poll for where we wanted to go, what kind of cruise line we wanted to go on. So we ended up in the Caribbean, we ended up in Carnival, and then it was really about the itinerary. We wanted a less than common itinerary. We didn't want to do Nassau and just private islands or anything like that. So that's how we ended up going to Half Moon, but it'll be the new Half Moon Key, San Juan, St. Thomas, and St. Martin. You know, something different. Chances that, you know, not everybody's been to every one of those ports. You know, if we go Nassau, everybody's been there. We go to Cozumel, everybody's probably been there. So it was really, and it's in October because it's Halloween, and so we can do all the Halloween events. We can do costume stuff. Several different factors that rolled into it, but it was us with a lot of our OGs. We kind of came together, and it's where we landed. So that's how we ended up on that particular cruise. See, Tiffany does the reading here. Let's see. All right, so I just answered Misty's question, and I'm not sure where you are. I can't really read it right now.
Chica says both San Pedro and Long Beach are about 2.5 hours away. Margaret, which Chica, what ship? That is my sister's birthday. Might have to do that for her. James said, I'm hoping to cruise out California in 27 as I got 2 cruises booked for 26. Don't know if I will get enough time off for another.
I'm thinking if we're going to go to California, I think that ought to be the one where we try Virgin.
Yeah.
I think California would be a great opportunity to try Virgin voyages.
Listen, says everyone watching, let's give these 2 cruisers up to 250 million likes and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you for that vote of confidence.
Yes, I love it. Texas Cruiser says, I don't drive out of Galveston County. It's much saner to stay out of Houston.
Yeah, the folks in Houston, they've got their own version of driving. It seems to work for them.
Yes.
But if you're not familiar with it, boy, it's rough.
Chica says, yum. I love pickled feet. And I am kidding.
Ooh, I was scared by the first half of that.
I think the QE is still under renovation, but not sure it's worth it.
I think she is too. I know it's still open, but I don't want to stay there. I want to sleep on a piece of history.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she isn't out cruising anymore, to sleep on it, explore around, do the ghost tours, see it and feel it.
Yeah. Texas Cruiser says, laugh out loud, Chica. I do love the Mayhall jelly that Buc-ee's carries. Never tried that. Carolyn wants to know, what's your favorite port?
Ooh, that's another toughie. That is a toughie. What would you say is our favorite port?
Galveston.
Oh, I was thinking like where the ship goes. If it's embarkation port, it's Galveston.
Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking where the ship goes.
That's true. So what's your favorite?
Ooh. I don't know. I do have an extreme fondness for Cozumel.
Yeah, you do.
I
Chica,
really do love me some
Nelly said,
Cozumel.
Chica, I will be in California. I lost it. I will be in California in October for Quantum with my mama. What is Quantum?
That's a Royal Caribbean ship. Quantum of the Seas.
Okay. Texas Cruiser like a law, Chris. The Texas Cruiser hostel. Chris said, I think my closest cruise port is Baltimore, 11 to 12 hours from Indiana. Chica at Nelly, I will miss you.
How about Norfolk?
Yeah.
Says no, now that Norfolk is taking a Carnival ship, maybe a possibility.
Nelly, you know Chris Moss, tons of people came to Galveston driving. They loved it. Yeah. I bet it over that way coming. I don't know. Nelly says she got our cruise is October 2nd to 6th.
Awesome.
Misty, I'm with you, Chris, on the QM2. Margaret, Virgin will only be in California from April to May in 26. Better decide quickly.
I think it will be back. These cruise lines, they're notorious for doing this. So they're going to send Virgin out to California and they're testing the waters.
Mm-hmm.
We get this in Galveston. They'll send a ship over for a little while. They did it with Norwegian and they tested out the waters. How's it going to be received by the cruise port? If it is super successful, that ship will come back, or a ship from that line will come back. Cruise lines will chase that money.
Yes.
And if they're going to be sending a ship to Alaska, because Virgin's sending their first ship to Alaska, if that is super successful, which I expect it to be, then it can winter in California, and I expect that to be something that they may do consistently, keeping that ship on the West Coast. Purely a guess.
Yeah.
But I think this is Virgin's testing of California waters, and I think they're going to do really, really well, and I think we'll see it back, even if it's not on the books yet.
Carolyn says QE is worth it. Yes, Chris got to experience it. Margaret says they are basically testing out California to see if the demand is there.
That's it.
Chica said, I looked at Virgin out of LA and they are quite pricey. Yes, they are, but that includes everything, excursions.
No.
Okay, don't listen to me because I don't know.
That covers your gratuities and stuff like that. Includes they don't do specialty restaurants, so you just eat. So it does include a lot of things that your normal cruise fare doesn't cover. But I've heard the food on there is some of the absolute best at sea.
Nellie said, Rick, tell Virgin to come to Galveston.
Wouldn't surprise me they swing through here and test out the port either.
Yeah. Chica, Nellie, I will just be coming back from Europe. We got back on October 1st, or get back on October 1st. What?
I need that noise to stop. Here, I'll take care of it. Here, you talk. Read the comments. Oh, I'll be right back.
My closest departure port is Baltimore, and that sounds like a great idea, Nellie. Chris says Norfolk, New York, and Baltimore are all about 11 to 13 hours. That is a bit of a drive, especially in the wintertime. Carolyn, I meant QM. Thanks, Misty. Glisten says, well, I gotta go. I just want to meet you guys. I will be sure to stay longer in next lives. Love you guys. Bye. It was very nice meeting you. Thank you for joining our channel. And our vlogs usually only last about an hour. We've gone on a little bit longer today.
Oh, God, we have.
Okay.
I absolutely lose track of time, but I had to quiet down some noise.
Jane said, yes, Nellie, like to see Virgin out of Galveston.
I'd like to see them all come to Galveston. At least let us try them out. Then we can decide. Well, I was going to say we can decide which one we don't like, but
Texas Cruiser
we'll like
said Disney and Galveston are in talks to base Disney ships here year round. Yeah.
Well, y'all got to tell her stuff. We don't tell her Disney ships can be coming year round. We don't tell her that there's a glass walkway. We go down to Galveston and we pretend like we don't see it. What Disney ship? I see no Disney ship.
Ray says Norfolk 3 hours from us, another great terminal and secure parking. Glisten says also thank you for everything. You are very welcome.
Absolutely.
Nellie says, I wonder how successful Royal really is in California. I get tons of offers for California ships with so many open dates, casino offers.
But they've been adding ships to California. So I would have to say that they must be doing good if they are adding ships, not taking away. They've increased their ships there. So
Chris says Galveston is about 16 to 17 hours. I drove to Dallas before. Don't know if I like the long drives as much as I did when I was younger. I would just rather fly.
And a lot of people do. We don't, not big fans of flying.
Sheikah says, sadly, the West Coast only has a couple of itineraries, Baja and the Mexican.
Okay.
Misty says, I'm in Iowa, so everything is at least 18 hours plus for closest ports. Nellie says, we are going long tonight. To be fair, we are family.
That's true. And I quit paying attention to the time and get lost in all the conversation and I forget it.
Sheikah said, time flies when you're having fun.
True.
Chris said, yes, Chris, I live in Cincinnati and Galveston is 16 hours for me. I wish they would make coastal cruises a regular itinerary. Nellie says they're taking away the ovation. Pup says, time to sign off.
Yeah, that's basically what they're saying. They're like, it's time to be done.
Yeah. And then they're swapping out ovation with quantum.
Yeah, so I think the West Coast, like, that someone already said, their biggest struggle is their ability for itinerary, so where they can go. It's really either north to Alaska or south to Mexico. And because of the vastness of stuff over there, they can only go so far in a few days. It's pretty much either got to be Mexico or it's a week-long cruise heading up into Alaska. Geography is the West Coast's, I guess, biggest challenge. Is just straight geography. Which is why Florida thrives as well as it does, because everything is by Florida. Not everything is by all the others. It's an unfortunate thing. Now if they were to do things like get rid of the Jones Act and the Passenger Vessel Services Act, and cruise ships could do cruises to nowhere or be able to skip a foreign port stop, then you would probably see a lot like more Hawaii itineraries. You could do Hawaii. You could do straight West Coast cruises, even if it stops in the States. Stops in San Francisco and work your way down by cruise ship. That would be awesome, but the law's got to change first. So,
see, the puppy wants to be on TV. Texas Cruiser says, I really appreciate that Nellie took my place while I was delayed.
He did. He was ready to go.
Sheikah says that is on if we go longer. The puppy being on TV. Margaret says, I am a travel agent who does a lot of Royal, and trust me, they are doing fine in California.
Royal has been talking about they're growing some of the fastest numbers. With demand way exceeding expectation. Right now, Royal is pretty much on the top of the list for bookings and a lot of things like that. Misty's absolutely correct. Royal is not struggling.
Yeah.
They're not struggling to fill cabins.
Texas says we get a lot of California cruisers in Galveston. Nellie said in the Mexico ports are not Cozumel or Future Perfect Day Mexico. Margaret says they do those Pacific coastal cruises in Hawaii. They just took on to take care of the Jones Act. Sheikah says, I do love Puerto Vallarta and Cabo.
Ensenada, baby.
Yeah. Nellie said, I just wondered, Margaret, because those casino offers are Quantum, Ovation, and Navigator.
See, it's weird. I get a lot of them too, but at the time, for whatever reason, mine are for Australia.
Yeah.
I get a whole bunch of offers to Australia, and I'm like, thanks, bro. I'm not planning on heading to Australia anytime soon. Would be a super cool trip to absolutely do, but for a weird reason, I get a lot of Australia offers.
Rubber Ducky's here, says live in Central Florida, 6 hours or less to all 6 ports.
Now, see, that's the place to be.
Yeah.
Because now you get to straight pick and choose. If it's 6 hours in every direction, the cruising world is just absolutely open to you.
And Nellie says, whatever, Rubber Ducky, whatever.
Dang. Dang.
I'd like to live in Central Florida, be next to those cruise ports.
Hold on.
Have
Tell them why you would like to live in Central Florida.
Have all of those cruise ports and have a season pass to Disney.
And where do you want to work while you're there?
Disney.
The last half of that is the actual truth. I will be by Disney, and I can work at Disney, and I can be best friends with Mickey Mouse. That is the actual truth of why she has tried to talk me into moving to Florida more than once.
I'm more closer to the grandbabies.
Yet now.
Sheikah said it's a closer flight, definitely a direct flight from California.
So I think we are going to get ready to wrap it up. We have gone over our hour.
Ray said the West Coast is a lot of travel from nice hotel to port.
No, not if you stay on the Queen Mary. Then it's next door.
Misty said she already has a plan now to move. Rubber Ducky said Florida is closed.
I'm hoping you're at least just talking to Nellie. Okay, he's the one messing with you, not us.
Nellie says Haley thinks sailing from Canaveral means Disney World. It does. You cannot go to Canaveral without going to Disney.
See? You want to know the real big reason we don't sell out of Florida a lot? Right here. She's like, well, we're going to be passing that Disney place. We could stop there and visit there. And oops, we missed our cruise because I was busy there. That's why we don't sell out of Florida a lot.
Sheikah says, I'm dying to try Australia. Tried 3 times, and for some reason or another, it has not happened. Chris said, love to talk cruising. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, the cruising conversation goes by super, super quick. But, of course, we'll be back here next week.
Yes.
I do believe next week we are going to move the show back to 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Instead of being 6:30, we're going to go ahead and move it back 30 minutes the way it used to be. That way we're not messing with some folks' time, and they don't have to only be here for 30 minutes if they want to be here longer. If you can't join us till around 6:30, whatever time you can hop in, if you want to hop in, it doesn't matter. We're glad to have everybody here whenever they get here. But yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and scoot it back till 6, just for convenient purposes.
Nellie's got a plan. Chris and Nellie go on Utopia. Haley and Tiffany do Disney World.
Okay.
And Sheikah sent you a message.
Miko says yes. If it's the one you sent me a couple days ago, there was like several of them. Yes, I did get it. And I understood all of that. And so, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Another great show. See you next week. We will try to send rain to y'all next week. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Tiffany wants rain.
Yes, I do.
But yes, thank you everybody for being here. We really, really appreciate it. We love having everybody here. Tiffany's supposed to talk during some of these parts, and she doesn't. She just sits there and looks pretty. Are you dreaming about Mickey Mouse now?
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about him.
But anyway, thank you everybody for being here. We will be back next week live. Tiffany's cooking video will be Sunday morning. So when you get up on Sunday, it will be there. Guaranteed. It's already shot and filmed.
Yes.
I just got to do a little bit of editing action. And of course, we'll have all of the other videos coming up with some really, really interesting comments for Saturday. they just never stop.
Yeah.
They never stop. But thank you everybody for being here. And of course, like always,
We'll see you out on the high seas.
good night, everybody.